Start streaming.
Facebook. You already did. Click Facebook.
Facebook. Gotcha.
Is it on? Everybody can hear you. Bless everyone. It's one of those days. How is everybody? I am Rissa Vibes, aka Readings by Rissa. So excited to connect with you as always. Today is another brand new weekly reading, and we are going to be covering today, which is Halloween, aka Samhain, aka Thinning of the Veil Portal Peak Day, aka Amazing Day to Connect to Spirit. All right, so we are going to hop right into our spirit messages of the week. So get nice and comfortable, get nice and relaxed, take a couple deep breaths, giggle a little bit at me and Nico's pre-production, commentary, and let me know where you're tuning in from. How are you doing? I'm super excited to join you today. Today is a very powerful day. We've talked about it all month. Today is the last day of the month, and also it is Halloween, and it is the most magical day. It's one of my favorite days actually of the year, because this is when the Thinning of the Veil portal is at its peak. It opened up on 10/10, and now it is peaking with that energy being so connected to the spirit realm. And so we're able to really communicate with spirit better than most days in the year. And we really get a chance to take advantage of that. Now, Samhain is it's like the rooted aspect of Halloween. It's actually the more traditional aspect. It's what Halloween was kind of coined after. And Samhain is a Gaelic holiday. It's a tradition, and it's a Gaelic holiday in connection to spirit, where people would gather to speak to their passed on loved ones and to connect to the spirit realm, their spirit guides, ancestors, deities, etc. And also a very powerful day for manifestation, because today is also traditionally celebrated in the Gaelic tradition as the day of the last day of harvest season. Okay, so we had the start of harvest season at the fall solstice, which was on September 23rd, and then we had this experience now at the end of fall, where we are celebrating what we've sown, the things that we've reaped, what we've sown. Okay, the seeds that have blossomed, grown, become fruit that we can harvest and gather for winter and celebrate in abundance. Okay, super exciting. Hi Anna, hi Susan, hi Silver King, hi Daniela, good to see everybody. Okay, so let me know your Halloween/Samhain plans for this evening or this weekend. Let me know if you've already done something special, whether it's going out with friends and socializing, going and dressing up, celebrating with your kids, or doing an actual Samhain ceremony. If you are interested in doing a Samhain ceremony, I encourage you to light a fire. I lit a fire with my friends last night, and we did a little watch party of the Shadow Work music video premiere, which was super powerful. And that was kind of our pre-Samhain celebration, and we'll probably do another tonight. But lighting a fire is really great, because it starts to bring in that energy of the smoke and the energy of connection, that energy of sparking connection, sparking a sense of passion, a sense of lust as well. So we're going to get into more of this, but I just wanted to give you all a little prep for how important it is today for us to be connecting, because this is great that we get to do a live reading and that we get to connect in this way on such a powerful spiritual holiday. So yes, happy Halloween, happy Samhain to all of you. All right, so let's go ahead and discuss our week last week, just to give us a little bit of a review of the energy of last week, so we can continue to move forward into this new week. Last week, I pulled the Rejoicer card, which was really prepping us to be celebratory. It was giving us this chance to say, all right, we have a lot to celebrate in our life. There's a lot of amazing things going on right now. So we were encouraged to rejoice, to celebrate ourselves and the big leaps and bounds of growth that we have started to accomplish and are really completing this year. Now, in the middle of the week, I pulled the Faith card, giving us the opportunity to have faith and trust in our divine being, really allowing us to move into a place of connecting to what we know we can believe in and what we've been taught to believe in based on our own sovereign power, our own spiritual awareness, okay? Then in the end of the week, we had the Enough card. The Enough card was letting us know that we are enough. We are worthy already. So it was another aspect of the celebration card, but more of a celebration of ourselves, knowing how valuable we really are. All right, so with all those cards and everything being said, how are you feeling from last week? We have a lot to talk about this week. This week we're covering October 31st, which is the last day of the month. So we're entering a brand new month, which is a brand new energy in the card reading that I did in the top of the year. And then we also have, the entire week leading until the 7th of November. So we're covering October 31st to the 7th of November this week, all right? Oh, hi Kevin, good to see you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I want to just dive right in. The first message is about delays, okay? We're just going to start off right away with some not so fun news, but it is what it is, okay? We've got some delays happening this week. We may have even started to see some delays last week showing up. These delays, though, they have a purpose, okay? They have a purpose. So you may notice that there's maybe some things in your experience right now where you're feeling like, man, I had this plan, this was all set up to do or complete by now, and you're feeling like something just is not getting done. You're feeling the delay, okay? Don't freak out. Don't freak out. There's a reason for this delay. There's a purpose behind it. It feels like there's some kind of divine timing being really, really put into play with whatever it is that you're noticing delays in your life. This may be delays in finding your partner. This may be delays in a project you're wanting to launch. I know for me, I've had to delay a couple of things with this website I'm trying to launch because I want it to be right, okay? I want it to be right. And so there's been a pushback, I thought I was gonna have some of it already launched for you all, but I've got another couple of weeks. I'm going to probably launch on the 11th of November with that Portal Day energy for the official pre-order sales of my cards. But just to give you an idea, this can be a delay in many different areas, all right? And we may see it and feel a little bit like, oh, I wanted to do it this time or whatever. Don't get hung up on that because Spirit has a plan. Source is guiding it. And when you can surrender to the plan, the divine plan, the part of the connection to Source that already knows what's perfectly etched out for you, that doesn't have to think about it or force it or strategize it, then you really get into a place of alignment, okay? Hold on, everybody. Gio's distracted me a little bit. Go on, Chi. All right. When he jumps around, I'm just like, little dog mom sitch. Okay. So I'm going to see what the card says about delays because this is real for a lot of people. Last week, I think we talked a little bit about having those communications that we need to have, which is really great. Hopefully a lot of you did that. And now this week, we're noticing maybe some delays in maybe what we were planning or manifesting back then from that place before we had that conversation. Maybe some of the conversations or the choices we made last week are causing other plans to be delayed, but don't freak out. It's for a purpose, okay? This feels like a lot of work and career delays and love delays, okay? Things in relationships and things in career. Ooh, the card itself for this energy is radical honesty, okay? Radical honesty. And it says, to believe in the facade is to suffocate in the armor of alienation, self-defeat, and self-denial, okay? So this is saying that we really want to take the masks off, okay? We need to make sure that the delays that we're seeing aren't a result of some kind of facade that we continue to imagine for ourselves, right? Are we putting on a mask and that's why something is being delayed? Or are we having a moment of radical honesty with ourselves and that's allowing for a certain delay, right? Really allowing yourself to feel into that, because whatever it is, you want to trust in your honesty, okay? You want to trust in your honesty. You don't want to trust in the masks right now. To believe in the facade is to suffocate in the armor of alienation, self-defeat, and self-denial. So don't believe in the facade. Don't believe in the illusions. Don't believe in the masks. Be radically honest with yourself, and that should help move yourself out of any delays, or it should help you just get the energy moving according to what your focus is, what your radically honest focus is for moving forward, okay? So let me know if anybody has any specific things they've been noticing delays in. Let's see if we see some patterns just in your own experiences. Like I said, my delays have been showing up mainly in like work stuff, just wanting to make sure things get right, okay? What delays are you seeing in your life, and how can you be radically honest with yourself, right? For me, it's being radically honest with the fact that I want to have it right, and I want it to be released in the right way and in the best way I can. So it's okay. It's okay to put that delay in there so that it can be its fullest quality, right? So let me know what it is for you, and let's really show up for each other in this Web of Light community, and be radically honest about the fact that it's okay. Delays are okay when you know you're in alignment to your truth, okay? When you know you're in your alignment to your truth, you're always going to be on the path you need to be. You're always going to get where you need to go. What is meant for you will always be, okay? So trust in that, all right? So the delays in plans are for a purpose. That's the first message of this week. Next message of the week is facing fears of regret, okay? Facing fears of regret. Now, delays and regret can go hand in hand sometimes, and so you're recognizing that maybe, you're making a choice, or you made a choice last week, or you're even feeling the pressure of making choices, and you're having a fear of regret of making the wrong choice, okay? We're being forced to face this right now. Listen, the thinning of the veil portal that we're in, and the fact that it's the most strong right now today, is a powerful thing. And it's not one of those portals that are super love and light and just make everything amazing and miraculous and beautiful. No, this portal is not always the nicest portal on us, because it's a portal of spectrum. It has a lot of different energies in it, and a lot of those energies are there to remove illusion, to remove the facades, to remove the smoke and mirrors, okay? And with that energy, we step into this place of recognizing where our fears are, really being able to be vulnerable. We take the veil, we take the mask away, and we start to see what's really under the surface, our truest insecurities, our fears, our doubts, our judgments. And a lot of that this year is facing fears of regret, making choices. We've been talking for several weeks about the decision making in the whole energy that we're experiencing as a collective of one world that has become somewhat two worlds now, two worlds combating over choices, and really using choices to discern what side you're on, and the pressures of making the choice that is in alignment to the right side based on friends, family, co-workers, right? Religious leaders, employers, government, celebrities, right? The list goes on, influencers, all these things. And so we're in this place of facing the fears around what happens if we make a choice that's not in alignment to us, okay? So in facing our fears of regret, we want to really step into a place of acceptance and adaptation. We want to recognize that when we make a choice based on what feels most in alignment to our truth and to our intuition, we really want to honor that, even if we don't know all that we are meant to know moving forward. We may not know how that choice is going to play out. We may not know exactly what experiences we're going to face on the timeline of that playing out, right? But we will know throughout that timeline that we made the choice that was most in alignment to our hearts and our spirit's desire for our life, right? And everybody's choice is going to be different, because your intuition will lead you to make a choice that is best for your path. and for what you're meant to learn in your life, and for what you're meant to experience, and for your karmic contracts and soul contracts and so forth, okay? So that's why it's so important to not force or pressure other people to make certain choices that may not be in alignment to them, and to try to make everybody make the same choice and call it right, because that really isn't promoting a intuitive and sovereign energy. And if we are going to speak about that energy of sovereignty and 5D and ascension and transmutation and free will, then we need to embody it, right? And part of embodying it is really allowing ourselves to face fears of regret, to look that in the face and say, okay, what if I make this decision and it ends up doing this or this or this or this, or I end up feeling this or this or this or this way afterwards? How will I deal with it? How will I accept my choice? How will I find a peace in that acceptance? And how will I adapt to that choice once it's made and trust that it's okay, right? Our adaptability and acceptance is another layer of our warrior essence, of our light warrior potential. Our adaptability and acceptance allows us to not necessarily embody things that we don't align up with, but it allows us to accept when we are learning what that actually means and how we're fine-tuning it, and adapt accordingly so that we can really get to a place one day where we know all the way, no matter what, that we're making the choice that is most in alignment to us. And really every choice is, especially when we do it intuitively, okay? So if you want to learn how to develop your intuition, if you're interested in that, definitely email me, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com. Y'all know I'm an intuitive development coach. Y'all know that I don't stop talking about this because I'm so passionate about it. I literally get to see lives change right before my eyes every day. It's amazing. And it's really just the ability to access the power within you, okay? But part of this is facing our fears of regret. So let's feel into what that looks like in this energy, because this is part of our shadow work. Shadow work is huge. This is the season of shadow work with this thinning of the veil portal. Plus we're in Scorpio season, which is all about shadow work, okay? We are literally in the energy of the underworld sign, the sign of the underworld, okay? So we're feeling the depths and darkness of our experience, and we're starting to understand it more, and we're having to face those fears and look at what we would do to move through them. How are we really going to move through them? How are we really going to survive through whatever choices we make, or whatever choices others make, right? Because sometimes that can feel just as threatening. All right, we have the planetary cycles card and the I am presence card for this, okay? This is saying that we have to go through the motions, okay? Planetary cycles is saying we have to go through the stages of development in our intuition to get to a point where we feel like we're really making all of those decisions based on full alignment. Because we have to learn what that looks like first. We have to learn how to discern. We have to learn what our intuition is saying. It's a process. It's a process, and this is why I'm so passionate about teaching people this process, because some people know that they're very intuitive, or they're very capable of seeing their fears and understanding them. But what they're maybe having a hard time with is how to translate that intuition into a way that they can actually use for their life to manifest the highest quality of life that they want, or to be able to transmute their fears and really face them and overcome them. The how-to aspect is a process, okay? It takes learning, it takes going through phases, it takes expansion and growth and new characteristics being developed and new connections and interactions within ourselves being, sparked and expressed. And when we do that, we want to be present in that journey. Okay, we want to be present and also accept and acknowledge that we may make decisions that feel off at first, or we may go through fluctuations in our sense of certainty about certain things. And that's part of the process, okay? But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't keep facing our fears. It doesn't mean we shouldn't keep developing our intuition. It doesn't mean we shouldn't keep moving forward in our spiritual growth. In fact, it means we need to stay more present and stay more accepting of that process, and know that as we continue to dedicate ourselves to it, we get better and better and better at evolving through it, okay? Does that make sense? Let me know if anybody has any questions. Shout out to all those Scorpios out there as well. Happy birthday to all of you. All right, we talked about throat chakra stuff last week. I guess some of y'all still got it. So if y'all haven't had those conversations that y'all are supposed to have those conversations, okay? Because people need to know how you're feeling. Speak up, speak up, speak up, speak up, okay? This is a big one too. This is a message coming in right now, right away. I'm just feeling it from the guides. Like, just speak up about whatever it is that you haven't been talking about or haven't been expressing. Like, why not? Why not speak up, okay? Let me know if y'all can see me. It looks like the streaming is getting a little choppy. Come on, YouTube, don't give me any more Mercury retrograde shadow. We're over that. We're over that. Man, that Mercury retrograde is so intense. Can you all see me? Let me know. It looks like it keeps getting choppy. Let me know. All right, so just for that quick message about speaking, and really expressing yourself, having those conversations, I pulled the Sovereign Dragons card. It says, you are the sovereign of your life. You are the ruler of your realm. Reconnect with your power and use its sacred golden energy with confidence, care, and great respect. Use the power of your intuition. Use the power of your alchemy. Use the power of your throat chakra. Speak up and use that energy with confidence and care and great respect to have the conversations you need to have, or to say the things you need to say, because it's important not to be quiet right now, okay? There's a lot of expansion with this. This is also internal communication, journaling about your fears of regret, journaling about, the things that you're feeling with the delayed plans and so forth. All right, closing the door the 5D way is the next message. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Still trying to see y'all if you can hear me, because this thing looks like it keeps getting a little choppy. Let me know. All right, so next message, closing doors the 5D way. We are being called to close stuff off, put an end to it, clear it out, make it a sacred ending. This is really calling us to complete things and end relationships, end projects, end experiences, jobs, connections with communities, etc. Oh, it was clear. Thanks, Nico. It keeps pausing on my side, so I just want to make sure y'all can hear me. But just making sure that we really end things in the way that feels most compassionate and kind and peaceful and loving and aligned to what we feel in our heart is the truest representation of us and how we want to be represented in the world and how we want to show up in the world, right? We're being called to end things in a 5D way. And a lot of us are being called to go back to certain experiences where we may have not ended things in a 5D way and kind of repent for that a little bit in our own ways, whether it's finding peace from that situation within ourselves or reaching out and creating peace in that situation as to make amends. But we're really being called to make sure we close doors the 5D way, okay? 5D way means with compassion, with unconditional love, with forgiveness, with truth, and transparency, and with sacred energy, with sacred sovereignty, respecting each other, respecting the experience for what it is, respecting the environment. So if this is work, respecting what that job did for you. If it's a relationship, respecting what that relationship taught you. If it was an experience, what did that experience teach you, okay? We're being really called to that right now. So we want to close the doors the 5D way. Let me know if y'all have any doors that you are closing right now and how you plan to do it in a 5D way. Have you had any wisdom on that already? Happy Samhain, happy Halloween, everyone. This is so fire. I love that we are together on Samhain and Halloween, and we're able to do this reading. I love that it landed on a Sunday. All right, so for that card in regards to closing doors the 5D way, we have to find harmony, okay? That's what we want to focus on. We have to find harmony, okay? Because that's part of our ascension into the 5D, is stepping into more harmony, okay? Harmony with our mind, our body, our spirit, harmony with our intuition, harmony with our shadow, okay? We are doing shadow work this year, this season, okay? We talked a lot about more shadow work last year. That's kind of when we started to introduce it, actually right at the end of we've done, actually it's been like a year and a half we've talked about shadow work, right? It's been a long time. And this is an opportunity for us to deepen it even more. We've been doing a lot of shadow work up until now internally, really seeing our shadow for the first time, even noticing it, observing it. That takes time, okay? It takes time to see it. It takes time to accept that it's there. It takes time to face it. It takes time to build the courage to face it, right? Now that we've done that internal kind of, what is the word in here? Confrontation, the internal confrontation with our shadow. Now we are being called to really start to face what our shadow is showing up as outside of us and how we present to the world, how we want to present to the world. So we're being called to move our shadow into a harmonious place with our spirit so that it is not affecting the way we show up and present to the world. Does that make sense? So we really want to get ourselves in tune harmonically with everything that needs to be in tune, so we're balanced, we're centered, and we are not an extreme of any of our essence, okay? So shadow work, how we present to the world. What shadow work are you facing right now? For me, I can give you an example. The shadow work that I've been seeing a lot in myself and also in my clients is becoming their true self and stepping into their true identity and being unapologetic with that. And I think we're all doing that because we're in this dawning of the Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, and we're all being called to be our independent, free-spirited, truest selves, and really step into our fullest power and purpose. And that can be scary sometimes. It can be scary sometimes. So whatever you are doing to step more into the part of you that is the truest expression of your light, of your power, of your gifts, of your passions, do it, okay? Do it, and do it unapologetically. This is the season. But you're also going to notice that as you step into that, it's going to get scary. It's going to get shadowy. It's going to get dark. It's going to get a little heavy, right? We're going to see what doors need to be closed. We're going to see what things don't line up to that truest part of ourselves. And we're going to be faced with a choice to make. Are we going to make the choice to align more to our shadow selves and stay comfortable, not letting those things out to the light? Or are we going to choose to step into the light, be our truest selves, be unapologetic, and have the courage and the bold energy to stand in that forever, right? Permanently in our truth, presence, and in our light. That's the 5D, okay? That's the 5D is being in that full expression and really acknowledging the beauty of that and not having anything affecting your sovereign ability to do so, okay? So let's see what we have. I'm going to pull a card before I talk about this next one, because this next one is a doozy, y'all. I'm feeling like closing doors. Actually, let's just get into it. I feel like my guides are like, stop, stutter, step in. We just gotta jump right in. All right, let's talk about it. The sexual tensions, y'all. The sexual tensions are extreme. I'm looking at my notes because I was like, it's extreme. Sexual tensions and energy is arising. This is a Scorpio season vibe. This is an energy of being in touch with your body and just like feeling the full effect of the sacral chakra, the energy of creation, the deep intuitive, nurturing aspect of our creative self. Okay, this is our Kundalini energy. We're feeling the sexual tensions rising. Okay, if you're feeling it, throw some fire emojis in there. Throw some I don't know, heart emojis. Throw some eggplants or peaches if you want to get nasty. How extreme are you feeling this sexual energy? Use your emojis to tell me how extreme it is for you. Me and my goddesses have been talking about vitamin D a lot. Okay, and we're not talking about the sun. All right. So this is definitely an energy, okay? And it's that divine masculine really wanting to be seen as it starts to emerge from the toxic masculinity that is being subdued and finally kind of tamed and cleared and cleansed and healed. And so we're seeing peaks of that popping through. We're seeing the energy of that showing up, and we're really enjoying it. And as a result of that, the divine masculine is also feeling the sexual tensions arise because they're recognizing their power and they're stepping into their sovereign pursuit of that essence and their ability to really be seen as that. And that can be, you know, when you get seen for who you are, for your divine energy, that's a turn on, right? And when you see someone else for who they are and their divine energy, that turns you on, right? So that's what we're experiencing. We're experiencing this divinity showing up within ourselves. And the people who have been doing the work, the people who have been really showing up and making sure that they become their best selves, making sure that they attune to their passions, their purpose, their light, their gifts. They are really feeling the magnetism, okay? And I think it's creating the divine love partners to begin to find each other as well. I think it's really gravitating an energy of divine love and connection. And it may be also just an energy of sexual connection and creation of the divine energies between the masculine and feminine at first that need to kind of be expressed in order to create a vortex, right? A more of a vortex of that energy throughout the world. 100%. I see the fire emojis. Yes. Let me see some more. Where y'all at? I know it's more than just Kevin feeling this, more than Kevin and I feeling this. Okay. There's a lot of that energy out there. So definitely don't shy away from your ability to feel your sensuality this week, the sexual tensions, but be safe, be responsible. Think about the energy of the other person that you may be inviting into your aura, right? Or into your physical connection, your sexual energy. Make sure it's an energy that feels aligned to you. Make sure it's an energy that feels safe, okay, to you, to your energy. Make sure it's something that feels like it matches your frequency, okay? If you are going to partake in the sexual escapades, okay, the sexcapades, but definitely don't shy from it. Let yourself express or feel your level up in sexual and sensual energy, and let that be a part of the creation of our divinity and the way in which we get to honor each other as divine beings and recognize each other as divine beings and celebrate each other, okay? There's a lot of power in sex energy and manifestation power, okay? You can manifest a lot just by thinking about what you want in your life and during orgasm. Like, it literally is a thing. I've done it. Trust me, it works, okay? So let yourself explore. We're going to pull Ocean's Whispers card for that Scorpio season. Sexual, sensual energy rising. Ooh, 2 cards battling here. Which one will it be? Okay, I think it's this one. It's speaking its loud energy. All right. The gift of neutrality. I like this. Spirit is giving us an answer. We actually had this card showing up last week or a couple weeks ago too. This is saying not to get too attached, okay? This is saying that in that sexual energy, it's a sexual energy that is meant for us to feel more for the purpose of feeling our own sensuality and knowing how we are studying and observing and experiencing how we interact, how our sexual energy interacts with others. But it's not necessarily for us to get too attached to those who we are feeling that connection with, okay? This is an energy of, I don't know why Nico's message got, it almost got flagged. There we go. So the gift of neutrality, not getting too attached, okay? It says balance is at work in your life. Yin and yang are opposites in energy, but reside side by side to create the gift of neutrality. The gift of neutrality is balance, okay? Not getting too extreme, not being so extreme in the sensual energy to where you're not thinking straight, right? But also not being shying from it or hiding it or ignoring it so much so that you don't even get to experience the power of that sacred sexual energy, okay? Have a balance, have a essence of detachment. Don't get too wrapped up either in any one particular thing or energy. And this means, of course, if you're in a monogamous relationship, don't go out and like have sexcapades with other people. Definitely get wrapped up in your partner, but more so don't get wrapped up in one expression of it, okay? Let your sensuality be expressed in multiple different ways, because there's so many ways to express your sensuality, and it can be really fun to explore that. Okay, Bianca, I see you. Okay, Nico, I see you. Okay, Kevin Johnson, I see you. Yeah, I see you with all the hearts and the bombs and the explosions and the sexual energy. Yes. If I could put my emojis in right now, they'd be all the bombs, explosions, like blast off rockets, like all the things. Okay. So you're not alone. You're not alone. And it is Scorpio season. So let yourself play, because that energy is sexual. It is sensual. It is deep. It's mysterious. It's intuitive. It's magical. It's mystical. Okay. All right, loves. So let's go to the last message of our spirit messages, and then we are going to, yes, is it? Yes, it is. We did talk about adaptation to the newly evolved you. Let me just mention that real quick before we go on to the last message. Adaptation to the newly evolved you. How long have we been on? 36 minutes, okay. Adaptation to the newly evolved you. That's the second to last message. This message is really about being able, like we talked about, to adapt and to accept, the choices that we make. But this is a little bit more focused on accepting and adapting to your new level ups, okay? Which may actually be the same for some of you. But this is an adaptation to who you know you're becoming. Who you know you're becoming. This is a bit of shadow work around any fears of success, or even fears of failure around that. This is an energy of, connecting to our ability to recognize ourselves for who the F we are, right? Like who the F we are. Like we are amazing, powerful people. Like think about all the things you've accomplished. Think about your gifts. Think about your talents. Think about the wisdom you've gained, okay? And celebrate who the F you are, right? Accept it and keep adapting to it. When we become who we know we are meant to be, there's levels of acceptance that come with that. And sometimes those levels of acceptance and adaptation aren't comfortable. Sometimes they're very uncomfortable. Sometimes they stretch us into more work than we ever imagined. They stretch us into more bold expression than we ever imagined, or they stretch us into more vulnerability or discipline than we've ever imagined, right? But that stretching into who we know we're meant to be is so worth it, and that adaptation to it is so beautiful when we can align and watch how we stretch to it. Like watch how we're so powerful to stretch to it. Thank you, Kevin, for my fire and rockets. I appreciate you giving me a little rep there. Appreciate that. The rockets are a vibe. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about my sexual energies. Rockets, y'all. Rockets. All right. So divine guidance. Okay. This is how we want to move through the adaptation to our newly evolved selves. How we want to continue to become that. All right. We want to really show up in this place of honoring our divine guidance, using our intuition, using our connection and communication to our spirit guides, speaking to our spirit guides right here, right now, on today, on the day of the veil being the thinnest, right, between spirit and physical world. There's like a whole fire going on in my candle. It's pretty awesome. I know there's a flame, but there's like the fire got hot when we talked about the fire, all right? We talked about the fire got hot. Anyway, So we're literally in this place of trusting our guides, right? As we continue to evolve into what we know we're meant to be, we may not see exactly what that looks like, but we know Spirit's showing it to us every step of the way. Wow, like we are in trust, okay? So as we become our newly evolved selves, as we adapt to that and accept that and go through the shadow work of that, we also align to that divine guidance. We want to remember that our guides are the ones that are leading us through it. So talk to them. Ask them to show you the way. Ask them, you know, my song off the album Hippie Vixen, Gaia, I talk about Gaia, show us the way, Mama, show us the way. I call on the divine feminine guides because that was the ones that I felt were trying to speak to me and show me through our experience in the mass collective as the pandemic hit and things like that. And so, you know, we want to talk to our guides. We want to call on them. We want to ask them to show us the way through our level up, through our evolution, through making the choices we're making and accepting the choices we've already made and moving into more of that alignment, okay? So cool. Yes, I love that. People with high sexual energy are usually healers. Sexual energy equals healing energies. Absolutely. Sanjiv, that is so true. I could not agree more. There is a incredibly healing and incredibly creative, potent manifesting. I always say manifestating. I think I need a shirt that says manifestating. But there is a really strong creative energy, strong healing energy, just strong source energy in general in the sexual energy. I mean, think about it. Sexual energy is the energy of creation. That literally is what it is. So, of course, that is our way of tapping into the energy of creation, which can create healing, can create new abundance, can create new relationships, can create bliss and peace across the world. Like, it's amazing what that energy can do. So cool. All right, last message is, actually, it's not the last message. That was the last message. Because I already talked about the thinning of the veil and Samhain, last day of harvest season. I spoke about that actually before we even started. Spirit made me speak on it quick. I will say, though, that we are moving into a brand new card of the month. Last month, well, technically this month, October, was the Queen of Heaven, which was all about compassion and nurturance and intuition and being the queen, the empress of that energy. And then, you know, now we're moving in. And it was really perfect, too, October with that card, right? Because it was all with the thinning of the veil, connecting to spirit, having our intuition be our guide, all of those things. So perfect. Now we're moving into next month, which is November as of tomorrow. And we have for November from the annual card reading all the way back in January 2021 when I pulled all the cards for the months, is this month, which is Wishful Expectations. Wishful Expectations is the month for November. And this card was really actually encouraging us to recognize what smoke and mirrors, illusions, delusions, deceptions, distractions are in the way or clouding what we want, what our wishful expectations are, what we want for our life, okay? And it's also letting us know, hey, sometimes we have wishful expectations for things, but there's a lot of deception around it and it actually isn't what it looks like, okay? And that's okay, right? We have to learn from that and we have to redirect our energy according to it, okay? Go listen to Mystic Potions by Rissa Vibes. Yes, that song is the song for like this whole week, okay? Mystic Potions is perfect for the Samhain mystical energy of manifestation. It's perfect for the sensual energy. If you go watch the video, I'm literally body painted in the cosmos and just like moving around. Me and my friends watched that one last night. It was so fun to watch. So yes, I would say Mystic Potions is definitely the vibe for this week. I would also say go check out Aura. Aura was definitely like the spooky Halloween vibe of the Spirit Junkie album. So Aura is also really good. Mystic Potions is also on the Spirit Junkie album. And then on this new album on Hippie Vixen, I would say go listen to Human Design for that Scorpio sex energy, okay? Because that Scorpio sex energy is lit and it's happening right now. We're feeling it. And I wrote that song with a lot of that influence, okay? So definitely go check out Human Design on Hippie Vixen for some of that sensual energy, okay? But anyway, like I said, wishful expectations, smoke and mirrors, getting rid of distractions, delusions, illusions, deceptions that are in the way of what we want, and making sure we're not holding on to wishful expectations when in reality it's something that we should already know is not really meant for us, or we shouldn't be expecting all that from it, right? So wishful expectations is a big one. That's what we want to focus on this month, okay? Clearing the expectations and getting real with ourselves, okay? Really just saying, look, we want this to be the case, but it might not be the case, and it is okay, and it is what it is, and so be it, all right? So that's actually really aligned for November, because November we're going to be ending out Scorpio season, and Scorpio season is also all about removing the illusions, getting rid of the mystery. Scorpio is already a mysterious sign, but we want to know what the mystery is, right? We want to be able to see that and face it and understand it. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. That's some of the work this week. All right, y'all, so let's go ahead and finish up with astrology. There are quite a few astrological influences. I'm going to pull a card real quick just for the thinning of the veil and all of that. We have a Scorpio New Moon, okay? We have a Scorpio New Moon on the 4th of November. Whoa. And on the 4th of November, that Scorpio New Moon is also going to be a peak of more of that mystery energy, more of that opportunity for us to recognize where there's mystery and find truth, and underneath there, see where there's maybe realities that we're not aware of, or information that we're not aware of, okay? And the card itself is courage. We need to have the courage, okay? We need to have the courage to face what is behind the veil, whether it's the thinning of the veil as we connect to the spirit guides we have, or whether it's behind the illusions or smoke and mirrors of the mystery of Scorpio season. Needing to have the courage to face it so we can have all the information that we need, and we can really move forward with all that we are meant to move forward with. All right? All right, so let's talk about the astrology. Scorpio New Moon on 11/4. Okay, that is the 4th of November, which is, what is that day? Somebody give me that day. I think it's on Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. Thursday, it's on Thursday. Fun. I think I'm going to Sedona that day. How exciting. I may be doing my moon talk a little early, maybe the day before. So keep posted on my Instagram. I may actually move my moon talk to Wednesday instead of Thursday, because I think I'll be in Sedona on Thursday, but I will let y'all know on Instagram at Readings by Rissa. But anyway, so the Scorpio New Moon, we're going to be going deep, okay? We're going to be going deep, and we're going to be doing more shadow work, okay? This is why I keep talking about shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. This is also why I released the shadow work music video last night at 12 a.m. midnight on the thinning of the veil portal peak day, on Samhain day, on all the things, okay? Because it is a powerful portal day, and it is an opportunity for us, an invitation for us, from me to you, an invitation to face our shadows, to do the work, to give you a little bit of that musical motivation to look within and to start getting the juices flowing towards reflecting on your shadow and what it means to do that, so that you can really find yourself, find your truest self, and harmonize that so that you can express it to the world, okay? So going deep, doing the shadow work on the 4th, okay? This is a powerful transformation. When we do shadow work, we have a mini death. An old part of us dies. That old insecure part of us, that old, pessimistic part of us, that old, codependent part of us, whatever it is, it dies off. That unstable part, whatever it is, it dies off. And then we are reborn. It's a powerful transformation. So even though it's hard to do, and that death is difficult, it's full of suffering, we end up emerging as that phoenix that rises from the ashes, okay? So it's a powerful transformation. Now, on the Scorpio New Moon on Thursday, the sun is in Scorpio, okay? Obviously, we're in Scorpio season, and it's opposing Uranus and Taurus, which is giving us maybe some unexpected things that are going to make us look at things even more deeply, look at our shadows around money, around work, around love, around relationships. So we may notice some unexpected shifts, and just know that if you do on Thursday or anytime around Thursday, you start to see those unexpected shifts, know that it is for a reason, to show you the shadows that are within you that need tamed or faced or cleared. So have the courage to face it, and that will really help you out, okay? Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the new moon in Scorpio, of course, on Thursday or Wednesday, most likely Wednesday night, if I can swing that, because I want to make sure to give you all my time and focus, and I don't want to be racing back home from being out of town. So yeah, or I might do it from out of town. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm going to feel into it. I'm going to ask the guys. Just stay focused on my Instagram, and I'll make sure to let you know when I end up going live for the moon talk. But I will be talking more about that Scorpio new moon then, okay? But really it's going to be the opportunity to bring light to our shadow, bring light to our mysterious side, bring light to what has been hiding within us, or what we haven't been facing in our life that we need to, so that we can continue to rebirth into more of our true selves. On the 1st of November, though, tomorrow, Mercury is in Libra, trine Jupiter in Aquarius. This is where we're going to feel really social. I'm feeling a lot of inner child energy for this right now. I'm already feeling it today, and I think we're going to feel it even more tomorrow. This sense of adventure, this ability to communicate and chat and have fun. We may even be called to do some networking, signing some contracts. Feeling like we can really express ourselves and feel really supported in our expression, and maybe make some deals based off that tomorrow. So Mercury in Libra, trine Jupiter in Aquarius for that tomorrow, okay? Then another Mercury in Libra transit on the 2nd, which is Tuesday, squaring Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn. This is really encouraging us to be tactful, to be respectful, to be politically correct with certain conversations around confrontation or contrast or disagreement. We want to also really be tactful in how we learn our lessons. We don't want to blow up or be too extreme or be too heavy or dark or pessimistic about something. We want to be practical and tactful, okay? Respectful in our contrast. That's just going to help us be more balanced in our communication through that kind of Pluto and Capricorn rebirth, tough lessons learned, healing energy, okay? Then on the 5th is a powerful energy. That's where Venus enters Capricorn. That's on Friday. And that's going to be fun. Okay, the love planet, the planet of love, the planet of pleasure. Venus is going to enter the planet of stability and practicality and positive mastery of self. This is going to be level ups, okay? This is going to be level ups in love. We're going to really no longer tolerate settling for less. We're going to feel really called to demand what we deserve. We're going to also feel, maybe just some lessons around how we can show up better in our relationships and with money and abundance, okay? On that day as well, on Friday, we're also going to see Mercury, which is our planet of communication, entering Scorpio, which is the sign of the underworld and mystery and illusion. And so we may see some of our communication being a little bit manipulative or even obsessive or possessive, or just not really true to our true selves, our true hearts. So be really clear about speaking what you really intend to give off. Speak with intention, really think before you speak and things like that. And also pay attention to how other people are speaking to you, as to make sure there's no weird obsessiveness or anything like that, and make sure to make boundaries accordingly, okay? And then on the 6th, which is Saturday, we have Mercury in Scorpio again, which then sextiles that Venus in Capricorn. Okay, so that's really going to be interesting, because it's going to give us this chance to, we're going to see how our love life and our work life might be influenced by manipulation or obsessive energy, or just the kind of misaligned energy, deceptive energy. It doesn't even feel all the way like deceptive energy, though. It feels a little bit lighter than that. It feels like more just seeing how we've manipulated ourselves out of what we want in love or work or money, how we may have been manipulated out of work and love or money expectations. And this is actually going to be good for us, though. It's going to give us the shadow work awareness to be ambitious about what we really deserve and what we really want. Which is going to give us career level ups. It's going to help us network. It's going to help us speak into existence what we desire. All right. And then finally on Friday as well, or I'm sorry, on Friday, not on Saturday because we just talked about Saturday, but on Friday, I want to also announce that we have another Bone Shaman reading. So I'll be going live again for the first Friday of the month on the 5th at 7 p.m. Central Time, which is 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern. So make sure to submit any questions you have for any complicated or conflicting energies you've been feeling in your life or experiences you've been going through. Get your super chat donation accounts ready and set up because I'll be receiving and asking and offering readings for love chat donations. Super chat love donations. I'm like, how do I say this? But yeah, so this is going to be really fun for if you have like a couple questions that you're just like, man, I'm going through it, Rissa. This situation I'm in is really complicated. I'm feeling a lot of duality around it. I'm really conflicted. Let me ask you this question real quick on the Bone Shaman Live so I can get my clarity right then and there. And then you just send me a little donation and we're good to go. And it's really fun too because what we realized from the Bone Shaman readings, what I realized last time, is that a lot of us, like a lot of the people that were requesting personal readings, their messages also resonated with so many other people. So that was really cool. What a cool community offering that you're doing in that as well. So neat and so great for us to be vulnerable and connect to spirit together and get our questions answered and also talk about the world. We can ask questions about the mass collective and the duality and conflicts there, and just how the world is moving and evolving. So definitely bring your questions to the Bone Shaman live reading on the 5th on Friday for that at 7 p.m. Central Time. Okay. All right, loves, let's go ahead and pull 3 cards to end it out. How's everybody feeling? Thank you so much for joining me. It has been such a crazy week. I have been doing a lot of shadow work. I have to admit, I've been a little bit like in a portal. I mean, I guess we all are, right? That's what this portal is. Like, have you been feeling that too? Because it's been an up and down thing, but it's actually been really beautiful. I'm really appreciating the opportunity to look at things from a different perspective. And I'll actually offer that as one more message today is looking at things from a different perspective is a really big theme for this week. And it's a way for us to move through the waves of our emotion and kind of find peace with whatever we're feeling is by looking at things through a different perspective. Asking yourself, what perspective can I look at this through that would make things feel better for me? Because that perspective is actually most in alignment to your heart because it brings your heart ease. And whatever brings your heart ease is actually what your heart is calling you to focus on because it wants to be at ease and it knows that when it's at ease, it is most helpful to us. It can do its job. So we want to align with that. We want to honor that, okay? I don't know why I already flipped them over, y'all. I'm like rushing into it because I'm so eager to see what the messages are. All right, so first card, beginning of the week card, I pulled a dragon card. Dragonborn, okay? I love this. This is such a vibe for that emerging energy, okay? Dragonborn. This is the rebirth after the shadow work, okay? So this is spirit giving us a little bit of our incentive for doing the shadow work. It says, we have sheltered magic from the millennium now, and it is nearly time for its rebirth. Feel hopeful, human child. There will soon be a wondrous moment from which a new world will be born, okay? So that sexual energy, that creative energy, helping to birth the new world, Also, all the conflict and contrast, the two worlds, the one world becoming two in order to birth a new world as it comes back into harmony. The energy of manifestation with this thinning of the veil portal and communicating with spirit as we all evolve through our shadow work and evolve into a better and new version of ourselves, creating a new world to be born. What? That is our incentive. That is our prize for doing the shadow work, for moving through the depths of our spirit, and for really just captivating our true magic, right? It's a beautiful thing. So we want to honor that in the beginning of the week. Middle of the week card, Divine Sun Child, okay? Divine Sun Child. Beautiful card for shadow work week, okay? This is shadow work week, and this is the energy of really bringing shadows to the light, and we do that with the divine energy of the sun. It says, blessings of the sun flow to you now. It is time to allow your life to flourish without limits. Let your light burn bright and without veil, just like the midsummer sun burning without contest in the Egyptian desert. It is your time to shine bright. So let the sun and the light of your being and the energy of your light, your vibrance, right? Let it be what illuminates the world. It's your time to shine. And it's oftentimes when we are in the most deserted, darkest, and most desolate places that we need the light the most, okay, during our shadow work. So let this be that energy for you. Let the blessings of the sun flow to you now in the middle of the week, okay? Ooh, end of the week card. Beautiful card to end with. Beautiful card to end with. Relationships, okay, relationships. Relationships are so crucial right now. We have the energy of this love, sensual connection, this identifying what we really want in relationships, what we really want in love, how we want to present ourselves. We're also being called to let that shit go that's not aligned to the relationships we want. We're being forced to cut cords. We're being forced to clear karmic contracts. We're being forced to face and accept the shadows and adapt to new experience and new perspectives in our relationships overall, with all that Venus transit energy and everything else. It's just powerful, okay? So focus on your relationships. And remember, it says relationships are just mirror images of your own life, okay? Relationships are you. The relationship that you're in or the relationship you're looking at or dissecting, there's a part of you in that person too, okay? How you feel and treat yourself, as well as how you respond and react to different situations and people around you, is all a mirror. Be aware that every relationship is an opportunity for soul growth, okay? So grow in the relationships that you have. This is kind of that opportunity to close the doors in a 5D way, okay? Let that shit go, but do it in a 5D way, okay? And sorry if I'm cussing, if there's any babies listening, any kiddos, but yeah, let the stuff go that is just not in alignment, okay? That is not in alignment, but do it in a 5D loving way, all right? And remember that they're mirrors, so treat them how you would want to be treated in the situation, okay? Super important. Last thing I want to mention before we go is shadow work again. The music video is out. I also want to remind you, as we do this shadow work, remember that the shadows you feel or the heavy energies you feel, or even if you start to feel like you're being cursed, or you have a dark energy around you, or a dark cloud around you, or there's something haunting you, all those ideas of haunting and curses and all these dark energies that often show up as well in media and conversation and things around the holiday season, please remember that that energy is really just a buildup and an almost personification of the energy that you've kind of stuffed down and ignored, that's your shadow, right? So if you feel like there's a dark cloud over you, or an energy lurking and following you, a dark energy, or you see a dark being in your room, or anything like that, or you're most likely feeling a spirited version of your own darkness, of your own shadow. And it's getting your attention. It's forcing to get your attention. It's forcing you to see it because you've ignored your shadow so long, because you've ignored that dark addiction you have that you know is a problem, and it's causing everybody in your life turmoil, and you included, right? And then you feel that dark cloud, right? that's that energy, right? Or maybe the darkness of your trauma that you never actually healed from or faced, or maybe the darkness of how hard you are on yourself and how mean you are to yourself, and that's that feeling of you being cursed because you're always telling yourself you're never going to have what you want, and then you don't, right? So these are personifications, these are spirications, I guess, spirited forms of your shadow energy that you've ignored. So don't get wound up in thinking somebody cursed you or there's all these demons around you trying to get you. Trust me, there are negative entities out there, but most of the time we don't interact with those unless you've invited them in willingly. Most of the time, if you're feeling a dark energy like that, it's your own shadow that you're not facing, and you're being forced to face it because it's getting your attention, because it knows that it needs to be seen in order for it to come into balance. And really, every part of our spirit wants to be in balance, okay? So honor that. Make sure to go watch the shadow work music video. It's out now. It's all about my shadow work journey over the last year and how I invite you into doing your own shadow work. I would also love to take you on some journeys on my OnlyFans about shadow work in even more depths. I'm going to start doing even more of that, those lectures and readings on my OnlyFans. I've also started putting on some other virtual diary stuff on my OnlyFans, so make sure to check that out in the link in the description as well. And I appreciate all of you. Please don't hesitate to share the music video for shadow work. I want to really make sure everybody sees it on this beautiful holiday when we're connecting to spirit during this portal, and just enjoying the opportunity to know that we can face our shadow, and it doesn't have to be only sad and dark and haunting. We can actually enjoy doing it together, and we can watch music videos, we can listen to songs that make us feel motivated to do the shadow work, and we can watch movies and do things that and do it together in community environments where we don't have to feel alone and desolate and sad. We can feel empowered and motivated and excited to do the work because we know it's going to be an epic transformation for us, right? All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. I'll see you next week for a brand new